stories, and one of these stories is what we're talking about, of course, the NYSC saga. My guest is Ebenezar Wikina, who I contacted at very short notice, and I'm very grateful that he's joining us to have this conversation as a young person, obviously, and someone who's leading policy shapers, and who better to be policy shapers but the young people of this country. But before I bring my guest on, I want to just remind you, I know Kofi has played the audio, Joyce also has, but it's more like a rolling dice of sorts, a conversation that's still developing. And I want to play you the audio that led to the next audio, of course, by the NYSC official, which has also led to her invitation to the local government office of the NYSC, which has also pushed a lot of Nigerians, highly placed, and even just the ordinary Nigerians, to talk about this issue. Welcome to Checkpoint. This is Hard Fact. Let's go to that video from Ray, who spoke up, obviously, crying in that video because of the situation of things. Let's start with the very first one, and then we'll go to the second.
A lot of Nigerians, I genuinely feel so overwhelmed, and I feel like if a lot of Nigerians come out and start speaking on what we are actually going through, then maybe changes will be made in the government. Don't you guys think? And this video, I just want to say to our president, I don't know if there have been any other president that is terrible, but you are such a terrible president. It is so hard. So I'm coming from the supermarket where I went to get foodstuffs, and everything has gone up again. It's just like every single week prices increase. I want to know, what is the government doing about this increment? Is there going to be a particular time where prices will stop going up? Is there going to be a particular time where things are going to go back? Guys, why am I going to get a crate of egg and they're telling me it is 6.5? It doesn't make any sense that egg will cost 6.5. Like, I literally can't remember when egg used to cost 800. And I'm so overwhelmed because this is literally my first time doing this adulthood thing alone. This is my first time moving out of my family house. This is my first time living by myself. And not just that, after I left the supermarket and I got home, my security is bringing NEPA bill, and NEPA bill has gone up by 2 times. Like, it's insane. I can't keep up with these bills. I am so overwhelmed and I'm so exhausted. Every single money that I have been making, I'm using it to pay bills. I don't even get to live properly. The craziest thing was, you want to go out to a certain location with your friends, and Uber is about 25,000. Like, even Uber, that we can't even take Uber. It is crazy. Like, why are things so expensive? And let's not even Lagos stinks. Lagos smells like shit. If you say, okay, I want to take a walk, I'm depressed, let me just take a walk, you can't even take a walk. Like, the place smells like crazy. Why does an entire state smell like this? And what is the government doing about the bad smell? Everything is just so overwhelming. You want to start up a business, and now you have to take a loan to start up a business, and the loan, you don't even know if you can actually repay it, because the business, I don't know, I'm just so tired. Like, why is no one saying anything about it? Being an NYSC copper, there's nothing beneficial about this whole NYSC thing. The money.
She said a lot, and I'm sure that most of you have seen that video, but the one that's of major concern to me is the second video. Let's take a listen.
Yesterday I made a video talking about the Nigerian government and how terrible President Tinubu is, and I was crying in the video. So 30 minutes ago, I just received a call from the NYSC board, starting with the secretariat before the LGI. And for the secretariat, for the NYSC secretariat, I'm going to attach what she said, some of the things she said, so you guys will hear.
Are you normal?
I wasn't insulting the president, ma. I was only asking for accountability.
Hold down that rubbish you put there.
Ma, are you threatening me?
Hold down that rubbish. You are not talking to your mate.
Ma, she called me and she was shouting and she was threatening me to take down the video. And I'm in my first mind, I'm like, wait, how did they get my phone number? And then I realized that every NYSC copper has to fill a file with your phone number and your address. I'm like, these people actually have my house address and they know where I'm staying. And now they have started calling me first to threaten me. It is so bad that you can't even just pick up about the government because they feel like they have chains to hold you. You're already calling me to threaten me. And this is, I will literally attach what she said so you guys can hear. She was telling me that I was insulting the president. I never insulted the president. I said he's terrible. That is not an insult. It is a statement, and I did not go on and start saying, oh, Tinubu, you're this, you're that. I just said he's a terrible president. And it's okay for a government, for a body to identify that, okay, this person is actually terrible at their job. So why is it a problem that the NYSC government, NYSC secretariat, or NYSC board will call me to threaten me? Like, why is that okay? That I can't speak up for something that is directly hurting me? Why is it okay that they will call me to threaten me under 24 hours?
Well, I guess my guest will be able to answer that question. Why is it okay for the government to call and threaten people who are criticizing or speaking up for their rights? I mean, last time I checked, one of the fundamental human rights is freedom of expression. Well, Ebenezar Wikina is joining us live right now from River State, Port Harcourt, where all is not well. But we'll talk about that on another day. Anyway, we're going to be looking, obviously, at this saga. Ebenezar Wikina is the founder, Policy Shapers. Ebenezar, it's so good to have you join us on the show, and thank you for joining us at short notice.
Thank you so much, Maryann. It's because I love talking to you all the time. So whenever you call, I'll be happy to join.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm really flattered. But most importantly, let's start by answering this young lady's question. Why is it okay for government officials to think that they can, for the want of a better way to describe it, take advantage of the powers that we supposedly gave them to threaten us when they're not doing the job that they offered to do for us? Why?
Yeah, the short answer is that it is not okay. There's nowhere in the world where it is okay for a government official to call a citizen who, just as she rightly said, made observations. And these are observations that all of us have been making, right? If you just scroll through Twitter or for Facebook or any social media platform, it's awash with Nigerians talking about everything. Like, Maryann, like I'm looking. Sometimes I'm counting the number of diapers that my son has used.
Oh my God! I do not envy you at this point. You and Kofi.
Just because I'm thinking about when are we buying the next batch? Because the cost just keeps going up. Like is this amount today and next week is something else. And sometimes it goes up even more than 50% the amount was before. So this is not. She didn't say anything that is out of the blues, this is something that everybody had noticed. Like, cost of groceries, cost of living, it's completely crazy at the moment. And so it's not okay for the NYSC or the NYSC official who called her, to call her and threaten her, because she made an observation that is pertinent at this particular time. And as a policy person, when I saw the video and saw everything happening during the weekend, I first thought about the NYSC bylaws. So I was like, okay, let me just quickly go check out the NYSC bylaws and say, is there anywhere in the NYSC bylaws, and this is the law that guides anyone, like a core member, right?
Yeah.
Anyone who becomes a core member in a particular state. So there are laws for when you're on camp, what you should do, things like no smoking, no illegal activity, etc. And then there are laws for when you're in your secondary place of assignment, which is where she is now, right? They've posted her somewhere, and then she's now doing her own assignment. And there are only 3 points under that particular section. The first one is, don't be absent from a place of assignment. The second one is, don't be late to your place of assignment for more than 30 minutes. And the third one is, don't solicit for funds from individuals, state, local governments for any personal allowance for any project, except the state coordinator approves your project. So those are the only 3 things under that section. And if you look down for the miscellaneous area, if you read everything, don't be involved in forgery, don't be involved in kidnapping, don't lose your NYSC identity card, don't engage in fighting, don't engage in fraud, and don't engage in partisan politics, right? From that video, I didn't see her engaging in partisan politics. She wasn't showing her card. She's not a card carrying member of any political party. So when I even saw the news that the NYSC was setting up a panel to invite her to come face a panel, I'm like, that's illegal. They don't have any power, to invite her to come talk about this, because based on the bylaws which were given to her in the handbook when she joined the NYSC, there's nothing that stops her from talking about the cost of living and talking about the challenges that she's facing as a young Nigerian woman who's out of her home, living alone in a new city and is just struggling. So yeah, I mean, the answer is,
But
it is not
but
right.
do you not think that she
That's
maybe had struck a nerve, sort of, when she said Lagos stinks? What's the governor doing? The president is terrible. Do you not think that she struck a nerve when she called out people by their name? In Nigeria, I don't know if it's a code.
Generalized,
It's a
yeah.
code that
Yeah.
we just, don't call it. I didn't say anybody's name, as opposed to hitting the nail on the head. Do you think that that's what triggered the leadership of the NYSC?
Perhaps, and truly, we actually do need to follow her lead, because we actually need to be calling out whether it's people at the local government level or the state level. Because what everyone says is, oh, the government is doing this, oh, the government is making things hard. Which government? Is it the federal government? Is it the state government? Who is your local government chairperson? Who is your ward councillor? I think calling people out by name, is something that we actually need to learn, because that's the higher level of accountability. And I know that some people have said she shouldn't have said terrible, should have said, oh, poor.
I don't understand.
The people who are just like,
if I feel that
you are breaking.
if I feel, for example, I'm just, and I'm not taking sides with her whatsoever, because I will never serve.
Sure.
I've never served in NYSC. I don't care about it. I'm one of those people who thinks that it should be scrapped. But then I love all the people who serve Nigeria. I'm serving Nigeria one way or another. But I want to say, if I don't like, or if I think that the way you're handling this thing is horrid, I would say it's horrid. That way I'm passing a message so you understand how I feel about what you're doing. But if I say this thing that you're doing is one kind, I've not said anything, have I?
You haven't, yeah. And that's because we're used to that kind of communication of, like, just as you said, like generalizations and using those kind of words that seem like, in quote, more palatable, compared to other words. But personally, I didn't say anything wrong with what she said. This is something that has been said over and over again. I think that as opposed to threatening, first of all, I don't think the NYSC should even be worried about this. I think what the NYSC should be worried about is our core members more comfortable. So about two years ago, when the NYSC hit 50, right, when it celebrated its 50th anniversary, the federal government at the time, that's the previous administration, set up a committee to review the program and say, how has the program done over the past 50 years? Has it met its core objectives? What should we do to reform the program, make it more, useful for young people? So if I'm an NYSC staff, I'll take this as feedback, because a young woman was a comment by saying that, what I get as my allowance, it's not enough to keep me here. And I'm basically just drowning in bills and everything, right? So looking at the current situation of things, should they be saying, okay, should we reduce the number of meetings that we have that they need to pay transport for? Or are we thinking of what other, can we work with certain NGOs or stuff to get condiments and food things that we can give to core members in specific states? So, it should be feedback for you to think of solutions, as opposed to feedback for you to think of how you can clamp down on the person and tell the person to bring down the video, because everyone needs to have a freedom of speech.
Let's look at some of the issues that she raised, most importantly. Now, you don't live in Lagos, so I'm not going to talk about the smell of Lagos, because you don't live in Lagos. But then she talked about the cost of living, and it's a crisis, whether we like it or not. Yes, the government can say they inherited a bad administration, but they did make us promises, and I don't know if they've been able to meet any of those promises. But again, she's saying that she can't remember the last time that eggs were 800 naira per crate. Now, I know that you are going to the market every day because you have a newborn, so you obviously know how prices are soaring, and in this country, when they go up, they never come down. Why?
Yes, sadly.
So I asked a question on social media that I'd like to read it exactly out to you, and I think you saw that tweet and you retweeted it. I asked a question about why we're silent. I said, is it just me, or is there a collective silence on the cost of living crisis that we're facing in the country? So I'm putting that question to you. Why is there some sort of silence about it? But there's some murmuring, but then nobody's putting it to government at all levels. Why is that?
I don't know. To be honest, I mean, I feel like maybe the actions following citizen protests and just seeing how the government has responded to when people air their grievances, it seems to have made many people go into their shell, right? Because you think of things like NSAS or even the End Bad Governance protest. Most of these things ended abruptly. It's almost like the moment you begin to congregate somewhere at some Eagle Square or some square somewhere, National Garden, the police is there in 10 minutes, and they're all dressed up in armor and everything.
And I used to wonder, does the police have a special market that they go to?
I don't know, because we all go to the same market. Like, aren't they buying aren't they buying the rice that we buy and the beans that we buy too? Because it affects every single person. It even affects staff of like staff who work with these
Government
political
officials,
right?
yeah.
Because like they also do have to go to the market. Like, their food doesn't fall from the sky, right? So it affects every single person. So I think we need to like break ourselves out of that silence. I don't know if it's fear or if it's just like people are just like tired and just like, you know what, I'll just find a way to survive. Maybe that's why this whole conversation around Jaguar became really, really big over the past couple of years. And people are just like,
but if you don't have money to buy a crate of egg, how are you jackpotting?
How will you buy? Good question. How would you even buy an air ticket? Air tickets now are basically like the price of land from a couple of years ago, and it's just like 45 minutes from here to there. So yeah, basically, I just think we and that's why conversations like this make sense. We need to shake ourselves out of that lull of just being tired. We can't afford to stop talking about it. We need to keep talking about it. We need to keep asking questions, as that's the only way to be able to ensure that we hold the people in power accountable. And that's some of the work that we're trying to do at Policy Shapers. It feels slow and tough sometimes, but I think just consistency really is what we need. Yeah.
Let's talk more about the NYSC, because I've seen tweets upon tweets. I'd like to read a few. I think that I've seen Peter Obi's reaction. I've also seen former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's reaction to it. I'd like to read his. He says, Ray embodies the spirit of a new generation of women who champion the ideals of popular participation and unwavering advocacy for in the political sphere, I beg your pardon. He says, I deeply admire her boldness and wisdom, her fearless resolve to speak truth to power, undeterred by the weight of opposition. She follows the footsteps of formidable trailblazers like Gambo, Sawaba, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, Margaret Ekpo, and countless other women who have stood in resolute defense of the common good. Rather than being met with hostility, Ray deserves encouragement and support. She's a shining emblem of the Nigerian youth, a testament to the long-held promise that the leaders of tomorrow are already amongst us, ready to shape a better future. And that precipitates my next question. There are those who are saying that Gen Z will become a thorn in the flesh of politicians in Nigeria as we know them. Do you share that same sentiment?
Yeah, no, one thing I love about the Gen Z generation, because I have younger brothers who are Gen Z, right? And I think one thing that you notice about them is that they're very direct. They don't have the I'll call it the skill of diplomacy that most of us who are millennials and those who are boomers have, right? Because like millennials, we know how to like want to say something, but we're trying to be palatable with it and everything. But Gen Z just says it the way they see it, right? Sometimes not honestly just saying it and not really having any intentions, and just calling you out. But because of how we're
they damn the consequences. They don't care about the consequences. They don't care about aftermaths. They just do and say what they think immediately.
Yeah, true. And there's so much benefit in that as well, right? Especially when you look at how citizens are thinking. And I thought that the tweet from the former vice president was very well crafted, especially speaking about women, and just knowing that over the past couple of weeks, women have been protesting issues going on in the National Assembly, and how there's need for more women's voices to be elevated at this point. So instead of trying to calm down on the young woman who is finding her voice and speaking about issues, I think we should be encouraging more young women to speak up and support them as well. This
it's surprising that it was a woman who called to harass the core member. Unfortunately, she's not having a great weekend, even the new week, because on social media, her name is plastered everywhere. She's called Mrs. Adekunle Tefaps, the NYSC local government official who called and threatened the core member. Her phone number is also being plastered on social media. And everyone is saying we must reject all forms of human rights abuse. No individual, no matter their position, has the right to silence young Nigerians. I don't think that this woman actually expected, her phone call to go viral, did she?
She didn't. She didn't. And that's like the beauty of technology, right? Because I'm sure all the calls she was getting at 3 a.m. and 2 a.m. she'd basically be wondering what's happening, for people to be calling and asking.
We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, let's talk about what she also raised about if the NYC has actually really lived out its term and it's time to scrap it. We'll be right back. Ebenezar Wikina is the founder of Policy Shapers. He's joining us here on Hard Facts. We'll be right back after these messages.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Aisha, why do you have so many tins and sachets of cowbell?
Oh, it's what I plan to share this Ramadan.
My sister, you can start by sharing some with me now.
Oh yeah, take. It's Ramadan after all. In this holy month, share the nourishing goodness of cowbell with friends and family. It contains vitamin B9, Vitarich, and it's so creamy, so good. Ramadan Kareem.
Cowbell of creamy goodness.
During this blessed month of Ramadan, we begin with faith and the spirit of giving.
Families and neighbors come together by sharing delicious meals. From jollof rice to tomato stew, from moi moi to porridge beans, every meal is specially prepared and flavorful with Onga seasoning cubes. Together, we share not just food, but love with those who need it most.
Celebrate the blessings of this holy month with Onga seasoning cubes. Onga, for great taste and aroma.
Are you a secondary school student or graduate looking to attend an American or Canadian university? Then AIO Prep Academy's independent study program is for you. From the comfort of your home, complete a USI school diploma curriculum online and gain admission to American and Canadian universities. It's a one-time tuition payment, and for a limited time, enroll 2 children and get the third one tuition free. And now the best part is, they don't even have to be related. What are you waiting for? Visit www.aioprepacademy.com/independent-study to get started. Call Nana at 0812-846-8679 or call Daniel at 0901-161-1473. AIO Prep Academy. Affordable, flexible, and fully accredited.
Start your children's day with a great taste of Ovaltine, enriched with multi-nourishment, calcium, malt, and vitamin B12 to support learning and playtime. Ovaltine, smart choice for smart kids.
Ramadan, a time for reflection, gratitude, and togetherness with our loved ones. Whether it's Suhoor before dawn or iftar after sunset, remember, Devon King's Oil brings families closer with every bite, making your mealtime a moment to cherish. May Almighty Allah accept your prayers and grant you the good things of this world and that of the hereafter. Ramadan Kareem. Devon King's, taste that binds.
See how I'm using corner eye to look at you as you keep pressing *321# on your phone. Is it not credit that you want to borrow from Glow?
Yes, now. What happened? Has the code changed?
Where have you been, girl? *303# is the new code to borrow credit and data on Glow.
So the code is no longer *321#, but *303#?
Confirmento. Voila! It worked, oh! Before Uncle, *303#, not before show. But, guy, I hope so the data where you borrow go reach me and you.
Dial *303# to borrow credit and data on Glow and pay later. *303#, new code, same great ease.
Glow Unlimited.
Did you hear about Shadi?
What happened?
She bashed someone's car and her basic insurance was only able to cover the other person's damage. She had to repair her car with her own money.
Sometimes, third-party insurance is not enough for your car. Introducing Flexi Comprehensive Motor Insurance by Hares General Insurance, the affordable choice for smart car owners. The Hares Flexi Comprehensive Motor Insurance Plan costs as low as 25,000 naira for a whole year and provides coverage for you and the other person up to a limit. In the event of a motor accident, Hares General Insurance will pay to fix your car and the other person's car too. So, upgrade to Flexi Motor Insurance Plan from Hares General Insurance. Visit www.hairsinsurancegroup.com, that is HEIRS, or call 0700 434 7746 to get started.
Are you in the Agro Island food and beverage manufacturing, printing, or packaging industry?
Get ready to position your business for success. Meet potential customers and collaborate with global industry leaders at one of Nigeria's biggest international trade shows. Agro-Food and Plasprint Park Nigeria marks 10 years of connecting businesses and driving growth. Join us at the Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos, from March 25th to March 27th, 2025, for an anniversary edition packed with opportunities. Meet with exhibitors from Europe, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Asia, and Africa to showcase your products, innovations, and machine requirements. You can also sponsor to gain high-level exposure or attend as a visitor to explore new opportunities. Register now at www.agrofood-nigeria.com and www.ppp-nigeria.com or call 0902-222-2226. Be a part of this milestone. See you there.
Mama, I dey hungry.
Yes, my pikin. Oya, go change. Make you come chop.
My children are my life, but I know say they need to eat well to do well. Since I discover Maggi soya chunks, to add protein to my food don't dey easy.
Now, I know they worry whether them get protein for food, because with Maggi soya chunks, I fit give them protein for food.
Protein every day for my family.
We see you, Mr. As My Guy don't win. Please don't ginger. No dollar. We did jolly just call welcome offer. BetKing is giving you 100 Naira instant sign-up bonus. That's not all. Within 14 days on the app, you stand a chance to get up to 1 million Naira in rewards and enjoy 50 free casino bets on Aviator. Download BetKing app and register today using the promo code FREEBETS to enjoy your 100 Naira instant bonus and other exciting offers. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18 years. Play responsibly.
Let me ask you a question. What holds you back when you wake up each morning? Is it the uncertainty of how the day will unfold? And as the day goes on, what makes your heart race? Is it the quiet fear that maybe you're not doing enough? And when it's evening, is it the longing for just a little more time? Whatever it is, remember, challenges don't define you, but how you rise to meet them. Staying connected to your dreams, that's how you break free from limits. Get unlimited data plus up to 6-hour battery backup to keep you connected without interruptions on Airtel 4G 5G Smart Connect. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to find out more. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire, their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight, each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher, the battle returns and it's full of fire. Grand Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? And step right up. It's time for more. Register now and take your stand. Your time to shine is now at hand.
Registration is ongoing on www.nigeriainfo.fm.
And Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Halilas! Ramadan Kareem! Ramadan Kareem to you too, Hajia. I see you're doing a little shopping.
Yes, so you know Ramadan is a time to nourish our spirit, minds, and bodies. And I'm stocking up on Bonvita to share with my family and friends so we can all win every day this Ramadan.
I came here for the same reason.
This Ramadan, walk into any store and buy the 450-gram pack of Bonvita today to enjoy 50 gram extra for free. Promo valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions apply. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
I like calm.
It's him be say you like calm. I tell you say he no good for you, but you see they talk say you like calm. My pikin, you know say I go always get your back, but you got shine your eye well, take carry better thing. Like the new Golden Penny soya and vegetable oil where they for brand new packaging.
The new Golden Penny soya oil contains vitamins A, D, and E with omega-3 and 6 and 0 trans fat. They are available for different sizes. Buy your own for retail store where they near you. Golden Penny oil, eat well, live well.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. on Nigeria Info Daily Winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same, whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission. 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
The reason why over 1 million people tune into Hard Facts every day. We discuss in-depth stories with sources behind the facts.
The Lagos State High Court has convicted, suspended the Chicago certificate story. It's never going away, is it? Show with stories for the day.
You hear diverse voices and opinions.
And she was busy campaigning with her husband, knowing that. You should not be happy because there is nothing to happy about.
Yeah, it's quite pathetic the way the country is going.
We distinguish each story accurately with analysis.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Yes, it's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. I still have Ebenezar Wikina, who is the founder Policy Shapers, and we're talking about this NYSC saga, or better still, the young lady who called out Mr. President, saying that his leadership is terrible and the cost of living crisis is neck-breaking, especially for those who are basically just starting out life. I kid you not, like I said, the past situation is sickening. Small businesses that power the economy are shutting down on a daily. But no, the MBS is telling us that the economy is better, the cost of living is coming down, prices of things are coming down. Are they? I mean, I just want to know, are they? Again, this young lady has called out the NYSC and she's saying, look, this you people's NYSC, the money you are paying us, the what we use to come to pay transport to the place safe and do the work is less than the money that we use to feed ourselves and take care of ourselves. So what's the essence? But then who knows? They're trying to maybe try to help you to be more frugal, I'm guessing. But I want to ask my guest, has NYSC outlived its time?
So I have had many opinions about the NYSC for a very, very long time. And I think that for when it was set up, so in 1973, this was post-war, post-Civil War. I mean, Nigeria was fragmented. There was low trusts, low social cohesion. And Go On at the time thought that we needed a program for young people, that's the next generation, to get to meet each other, go to each other's states and, meet themselves, live in the communities, etc. As a way to foster national unity. And so at that time, it made a lot of sense, right? I don't know now, when we think about the 50 years on, I don't think that problem it was trying to solve is still there. Again, people could argue that we are still
there are a few places you and I have still not visited in Nigeria.
Yes. I mean, should the NYSC take us there, or should we go by ourselves because of promotion of tourism and stuff like that? So, I mean, I don't know if I want to use government money to take people all around the country for tourism,
especially at a time where we don't have the money, actually.
Especially at a time when we don't really have a lot of money, right? So I'd rather invest that in thinking about key growth sectors. People have said that, and this is something I also believe in, Nigeria needs a labor market assessment. We need an assessment that assesses our labor markets, look for where the gaps are, where are the sectors that can retain people, and what sectors do we need a lot to train more people for. I mean, the UK did this recently. That's why they started to poach all the nurses across Africa and everywhere, because they actually saw that in a couple of years, they're going to run out of nurses with more people retiring at the time, and they won't have anyone to care for their elderly. And so they just came up with a very drastic plan. So I feel like we need something similar. And I think we need to rethink, again, the spending as well. We need to rethink how, so instead of the money we spend on the camp, perhaps, maybe that money should be monetized and given to the young people as part of like business grants, or perhaps spent on somebody that has started their business that just needs like another step of something. Or maybe used for something that builds the person's career so that they can work in a particular sector. But like maybe investing it more in the people versus the.
Well, I think the Lagos State government has some idea. They're doing something. LSTEF. They look for young people. Yeah. Yes, and invest in which is great. And I think that's something maybe the federal government should be looking into.
Yeah, and a lot more states as well. So even state governments also need to be thinking about that as well. And this is not to say that they're not like success stories from the NYSC. There are actually quite a number of success stories. People who go there and their lives change. Like, for example, like they meet life partners. People go there and get a business idea. People, why are you rolling your eyes? People go there and decide to even like live where they served, right? And then build a life there and start things up. You know, so like there's so many good stories, right? And I think that there are many good things in there. But I think that thorough evaluation of the program needs to happen. You know, it's called an impact assessment. You know, evaluate it based on why it was set up, and then think about the current challenges that we have. Like unemployment is really soaring, especially youth unemployment. Many young people, like they say, are not employable. Of course, yes, we still have the issues in rural areas where we don't have teachers. So in many places, it's the NYSC, is the core members that fill up our need for teachers and nurses and doctors in many like primary healthcare centers and stuff. So like that's also another issue. So if we say just scrap, like we'd have many blank holes every. So I think just rethinking the entire process. And I think I just don't like that in our typical Nigerian faction, we set up a committee to do something, and then we just like forget it and just move on. And then maybe like in 2 years' time, you know, we then say, oh, by the way, we had a committee, you know, to do something about this, you know, and then we don't really make progress on it. So I think just like asking for the current Ministry of Youth Development to be able to push on that. If the committee didn't work, maybe set up another committee so that something can be done quickly. But an assessment needs to happen before we can truly tell whether or not the program is meeting.
All right. Yeah. So because of the recent development and the threats that this young lady got, we saw Omoyele Sowore show up to more like come to her rescue per se, and he assembled a group of lawyers. We've got videos of them going to the local government, you know, to see, you know, the person who had called her. But guess what? A few minutes later, we're told that they didn't show up. The lady who was supposed to convene the meeting was nowhere to be found.
The panel, yeah.
Yes, and so so she left with Omoyele Sowore and of course with lawyers. How are we certain? Because I've seen people also ask questions like, "Oh, you can't protect core members when they're kidnapped. You can't find them, but you know how to trace. You know, blah 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 blah." I mean, that's side talk. But how do we protect several other people who might also maybe not necessarily be NYSC staff, but also young students or young people who are speaking their truth or calling out the government, or you know, calling out their states or their local governments? You know, how do we ensure that people are protected and not that the state is not used against the people when they are exercising their human rights? I mean, you're a policy shaper. How to make sure that is going forward?
Yeah, I know. First take kudos to Sowore. People often like sort of like tout him out everywhere, but I think like trust me, if he knew players, probably they would have told the people like, oh, she just came and then she could have been intimidated, you know, as we've seen as the practice in most government spaces. So I think like this is it's a sign that if society actually steps up to protect citizens who are being intimidated, who are being, you know, harassed, etc., a lot of progress can definitely be made, because like he was there, the media was there, like in his typical fashion, ready to post everything on social media and scream at people and stuff like that. And I'm sure just seeing all of that pressure, people were really scared to even do anything. So I think if we can begin to continue to strengthen civil society, especially with all of like the challenges currently with whether it's the USAID funding cuts or all of the global issues affecting the development sector. Sadly, many society organizations are actually leaving the space. There are quite a number of organizations that I know that have closed down in the past couple of months, and many more who are saying they're definitely going to close down if they're not able to get funding. So that space is shrinking. So I think if we can ensure that even like private companies, philanthropists, organizations in the country currently who want to support the protection of like citizens' rights and civic engagement can ensure that the support organizations, whether it's the ones around them or ones who work nationally, etc. I think that is one way to ensure that we keep that space, safe. Because journalists alone cannot do it. Because journalists is one person. So they arrest that person and they stop the person. But CSO sometimes might be many people in one organization. So it becomes a lot more, and CSOs and journalists working together become a more formidable force, in stopping things like this. So I think just being able to protect that space and also asking CSOs to also step up to the plate. There are many Nigerians who need this kind of support that Ray got. So ensuring that we actually do speak up when these issues come up and not cower in silence as we're seeing currently around the country.
I want to open up the phone lines. Lagos, join the conversation. We're talking about Ray, the lady who spoke about the cost of living crisis, and are we all part of the problem? Like I said earlier on today, the fact that we allow certain issues to degenerate to tribal issues. I saw someone who posted on social media saying that look at this camp in this particular state, and look at where they put Yoruba coppers. And I thought to myself, oh wow, they were Yoruba coppers. I didn't know that there were different tribes of coppers. I thought that we had Nigerian core members. But unfortunately, the conversations degenerate to that point. And I'm asking, how do we make sure that issues are treated as they are, as opposed to either being, reduced or watered down to, you're trying to make my tribe look bad or my governor look bad, as opposed to, can we all just push for better or a change? And I'm not talking about 2015's change. Anyway, join the conversation. 0201 277 0993 0201 465 7190. On WhatsApp, you can call us if you're listening from outside of the country. 08095975805. That's 08095975805. 60 seconds is all you have. Hello.
Good evening, Maryann.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Pastor Ladipo.
Go ahead.
Morile Gomo, Sari Gomo precisely.
Okay.
Maryann, I want to say something ahead. The president that I know, once this thing gets to his table, he will invite that girl. You see, people don't understand the way this president operates. He used both sticks and carrots to get everybody in line, and the thing is working for him. Did you not realize that every dissenting voices have almost been silenced? If the ones that doesn't want to accept the carrots, we will go with them with the stick. So anyone that is speaking out now, you see all this DJ and all these people that is speaking on his behalf, he will just be looking. After some time, we invite that girl, and they will tell you that this and that has happened.
Why does the president have to invite anybody? Why does he have to invite anybody?
Like that. That is the template he used in Lagos to conquer Lagos. He's using it in the federal. And go and check. Is there any more dissenting voices? Anybody that is speaking up now, he will just, after some time, he will just give you one ball. And once you play, that is the end of it. Nigeria is in need for it.
All right.
Seriously, we are in need for it.
All right. Thank you very much, Pastor Ladipo, for calling. Why does the president have to do anything? Hello.
Yeah, actually, good afternoon.
Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
You. This is Chris calling from Ikoyi.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I want to thank your guests and the show, right?
Yes.
They should just try all they could to make sure that this girl is safe. For that woman, it's just a question of time. The after effect will tell. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris, for calling. I appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you're not supposed to call the female line. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
No, you're not supposed to call the female line. Please don't do that. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, this is Florence.
All right, Florence, go ahead.
Okay, so this is really important. And for me, it's a viral disease because it's a disease that has no cure, where voices are consistently silenced. We've had recently someone in the Senate speak up that she was sexually harassed, and every other person just laughs and looks the other way. And then when you look at the generation that is actually going to suffer what leaders today are doing, how can a couple be complaining that she's actually been burnt by the pains of inflation, and then she's being shushed by somebody who has mortgaged her destiny in terms of the older generations? We need to speak up. We need NGOs to sponsor people to speak up. In those days in politics, I remember in the likes of PDP, we could constructively speak against whatever they did, and we had our way. That's actually the beauty of democracy. Okay. But as it stands, anybody who speaks up, even in the light of what is right, people just come up and just target all sorts of ethnic bigotry, and everything just goes wrong with it. And that's the voice that we need to gain back. It's actually a viral disease. We must fight it and win it.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. Please, the guys, call the mail lines. Thank you. Hello.
Hi, Maryann. This is Maryann. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
I'm a teacher here. See, Maryann, let me answer the question other people have not answered. The tribal issue they put into every matter here is all an escape route for addressing the core issues. When significant issues are raised, they will bring primordial sentiments just to dilute or divert the attention of people from the real matter. The matter the lady raised is issue of hunger. Yoruba is hungry, outside is hungry, everybody is hungry. There's no safety anywhere. Those are when anybody brings up the issue of tribalism, religion, whatever, we just disregard it, and particularly people like you who have the position of the mic to speak with the public. Stay on the issue. Never leave the issue. The issue is the hunger, the issue of the bad economy, and what have you. You get it now. So people will always, their followers will always, from any side, whether the win or the employment, they always bring other primordial money to drive, to drive the attention of people away from the.
So let's not get distracted. Let's stay on the issue, the matter.
Exactly. Stay on the issue. The issue is the hunger, the poverty in the land. It's really, thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, Ebenezar. I have to let you go now because of time. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I will bring you back because I want to talk about Rivers 2020. What did you call it? You released a policy document?
Rivers 2050.
Yes, Rivers 2050. But then there cannot be a 2050 in Rivers if 2025 is as heated as it is in your state. But I'll bring you back sometime next week. Let's talk about it. Ebenezar Wikina is the founder, Policy Shapers, and he's been speaking with us on this issue. Thank you so much once again, Ebenezar, for coming. Thank you. All right, Lagos, we're going to go on a break. And when we come back on the other side, a former commissioner for the Census Board, not the CENSORS census. I'm talking about National Population Census. He's a former commissioner and he's joining us. Professor Chika Moore is joining us to talk about the population census that's coming up. Stay with us.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you know anything about companies, you know that innovation is at the heart of what they do. And
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.